Welcome to the Two Fat Guys in an Album podcast, your weekly dive into iconic albums and our search for the modern classics. This week we get a masterclass in song noir from rock's gonzo figurehead Warren Zevon. During the singer-songwriter era of the 1970s, Zevon flips the genre on its head with a dark, sardonic perspective on American culture, foreign policy, and personal debauchery. This is the 1978 Excitable Boy album by Warren Zevon. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more album reviews, in-depth discussion, and music analysis from two fat guys who love talking about music no matter the genre. I am Mike Blackburn. I'll be your host and narrator, and with me, as always, is my good friend, the maestro of music, the siren of sound, the doctor of the diminished chord, Brek Hufnus. Welcome, Maestro. Well done.
Hang on a second. Okay,
I popped my mic.
Yeah. It was my OCD was kicking in there. I couldn't do a whole show with that.
Fair enough. Well, Maestro, normally we do some nuggets and some cleanup. Last week, episode 31, we did The Cure, Disintegration.
Yep. Butchers and the Butchers coined TRAITRS. TRAITRS is the name of the band.
Yes.
Butchers coined the name of the album. TRAITRS to music.
I don't think you like it. For those who might have missed last week's episode, go back and listen to it. But a little bit of a copycat band in the mind of the Maestro.
A lot of a copycat. I mean, they sounded just like The Cure. If The Cure was giving a concert and performing all their bad songs.
Interesting, because you like some copycat stuff. Okay, go on.
Do I?
Oh.
Okay. Do we get to the nugget part yet?
No. Fire away on nuggets. You got any? Got any nuggets?
Okay.
Before we get into our.
Yeah, I have some cleanup, but before that, I just wanted to throw out that I checked the price on Rush tickets, and in the door, $172 now. In the door, I would do that. I would go see Rush for $172.
I don't want to just be in the door.
Okay, I'll check the. Okay.
What is it when they carry you in on little seats? And
It's like $3,000 probably.
Okay, how about we walk in with the seat behind us?
I'll do more research.
Yeah. I mean, you're in the
so
ballpark.
So here's the pro move, and for everybody
and
that
again,
lives,
it's like the best ever cover band of Rush.
It's not. Well, if you think I don't, just okay. Really?
It's not Rush without Neil.
It's 2/3 Rush, and I'm actually interested in seeing the new drummer. And I have a thought, and what I'm curious about, and I haven't really heard it, is if it will be a cover band or if the new drummer will bring some of her own spice to the songs. In which cases, it's still a cover band.
100%.
All right. No, but here's the pro move for the United Center. For anybody going to a concert at the United Center, I hate giving out this tip, but the in-the-door price, you get your in-the-door, all right? And then there are a couple bars in the corners of the 300 level,
Yep.
right? And if you get there early enough, you can stand in the bar.
You had me, then you lost me.
Because of the standing part?
Yep.
Well, but you could dance because you're such a prolific dancer. But there's a ledge to put your beverage. You can put your beverage. There's room to spread out. You can walk about. You can have your friend save you a spot or something if you have to, whatever, do things. And then...
whatever bodily function might be calling.
Yeah. But you're essentially in the third row of the 300 level, which is significantly better. And if you're just at, it's an option. If you're at the 300 level and you don't mind standing for the show, it's a great tip to see a concert at the United Center.
Chicago, the United Center is the home of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yes, it is.
And the set of seats that are around the perimeter where the boards would be,
yes,
like the first row seats right there, are really comfortable. Not on the floor.
Right, because they're padded.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you like way back looking head on in those lower level seats that are really comfortable.
Right. Those aren't going to be the in the door price. So I'll have to
I'm
research.
willing to go up to maybe like 185.
All right, let me look that up and get back to you. I'm sure there's a couple of those wonderful seats for 185.
Also would have been great on side 2. But go on. Nuggets?
No. Clean up. So you asked me, we talked about The Cure.
Yes.
And we talked about the band members of The Cure. We talked about the fact that The Cure is a Hall of Fame band. Yeah. And one of the members of The Cure, Lal Tolhurst, was excused from the band in the midst of recording Disintegration. And you had asked if Lal Tolhurst was in the Hall of Fame with The Cure. And the answer is yes. Lal Tolhurst is actually a founding member of The Cure and was in The Cure up until the time that his, I think, personal issues had led him to be, again, probably talking about alcoholism and no longer functioning and not contributing to the album. And the band was like, hey, we got to find someone else situation. But in the Hall of Fame, and they did make up at some point later on. And so no hard feelings.
All right. Cool.
Yep. And then we talked about Goth, because The Cure, right?
Yep.
A Goth band. And we talked about the historic artistic meanings of Goth, and we were talking about Gothic architecture and such. But it occurred to me that the actual Cure Goth originates in Gothic literature of the 1800s.
So not kind of the medieval...
Not the medieval Goth, right.
Gotcha.
And so, so it has more to do
would
with...
that be like Dracula, Frankenstein?
Yeah, more like Dracula, Frankenstein, Edgar Allan Poe, your Gothic... and those are the... you can see the connection much better, actually, with the themes of horror and terror and darkness and all that.
We kind of visit... So we've done a nice piece for side 2, and now we've done a wonderful piece that probably ties well to side 3. What else you got?
All right. I went to see Phantom of the Opera.
Side 2 again. All right.
So here's an interesting thing. This is a nugget, actually, not a cleanup. Back to the nugget. It's more of a nugget.
To side 2.
We have talked many times on side 1 about Ticketmaster and their price, manipulations and lawsuits against Ticketmaster and such. Okay. So here's something that happened. I went to see Phantom. Family trip. Okay. My wife got sick at the last minute. Could not go. I had an extra Phantom of the Opera ticket. Okay. Now this is like 2 hours before the show. Well, it was right before it was New Year's Eve. I know you couldn't do it because you do stuff on New Year's Eve. Okay. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So, for those listening, by the way, the fat guy one was giving the look as if I should have invited him.
Should have. I would have invited you anyways.
Okay. We'll work on that. At any rate, so I figured, okay, I got to put this ticket up for sale on Ticketmaster, see if there's any chance I make some money back on it. I would have put it up for like half price. Like, I'm just trying to dump the ticket, get a little bit of my investment back, right? Yep. Put it up on Ticketmaster. And it wasn't Ticketmaster, by the way, to be clear. It was the venue. It was the theater that we were at. Would not permit me to sell the ticket for lower than face value.
Huh.
It required me it had a minimum price that it could only be sold for, which is baloney.
Yeah.
Now I can see it from their business standpoint, I guess. Like, they already sold me a ticket. And then they get to sell that ticket again, apparently, for full price. I don't know. But I was not allowed to set the price as I wanted to sell that ticket. And the seat next to me was empty for the entire show. So
could have given it to his best friend.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
I know you're busy on New Year's Eve.
All right, for those who are just joining us, this is not side 2 yet, but we're still kind of opening the show.
Okay.
We do have a topic
Do we?
to cover on side on the opening.
Yeah, it's not a side.
No, it's not a side. We're kind of 2025 has passed,
It has.
and we've had some time to digest and think about all the wonderful music that we've come across in 2025. So I thought, we'd quickly kind of run through kind of like our favorite songs, our favorite albums, and maybe discoveries or finds.
Sure.
Something
Sounds
that we
like a
kind of
good
came
idea.
across. So, Maestro, why don't you give me like your best songs of 2025?
My top five.
Top five
songs. Before I do that, I have to throw a plug in. We have a 2025 Apple playlist that has all these songs in it that we've talked about for the entire 2025. My intention is to start a 2026 playlist and as well.
Nice.
We'll just start fresh with a 2026 playlist of songs that we talk about on the show and all that. And that's always linked in the descriptions.
On YouTube.
On YouTube and I think, on your podcast as well. You just have to read the podcast descriptions.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So, okay, my top 5 songs in no particular order of 2025. Matt Berninger, Bonnet of Pins. I listened the heck out of that song. I love that song. The Counting Crows, Spaceman in Tulsa.
Awesome.
Goose, Give It Time. Billy Strings, Gild the Lily. And Florence The Machine, the album we'll be doing for side 3.
Yep.
I put Everybody Scream as the representative song of that album, but there's actually some fantastic songs.
Yeah.
But those are my top 5 songs of 2025.
All right. I'll do my. I have 4, I think.
Okay. So you have 4 top 5s.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I have 4. Oh, I might have missed one. My top song, I think, is Rule 31 by Radio Free Alice.
Mm-hmm.
I have Little Left. Oh, is there Little Left?
I wrote down Little Left Hope
Hope, yes. I have
by Dove Ellis.
Dove Ellis. I have a typo in mine, and I couldn't put the last word together. But Little Left Hope, yes, by Dove Ellis. Garbage Dream House by No Joy, and then Tom Morello's Everything Burns.
Yeah, I like that song. Of the songs on your list, Everything Burns is the one that I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
By the way, noticed, and I know how much you value production meetings.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about my list and your list is my list has songs and albums that we actually talked about last year. So I kind of looked at it as my top songs almost of the podcast, and then I thought, well, if you like these songs so much, maybe we should, or albums, maybe we should have dove into them more.
Well, they were
officially,
new, Yeah, I mean, there's definitely an album or two. I noticed about your list is it's really redundant, so your albums kind of flow from your songs.
Well, it's funny how great albums have great songs on it, but we're not on the album part yet.
Well, we are now.
Okay, go ahead.
So why don't you do your top 5 albums, of which I have remembered 4.
Yeah, my top 5 my top 5 albums. Counting Crows, Butter Miracle, great, I would say, comeback album for that band. I just love that album. If you like the Counting Crows, it's a great album. Spaceman in Tulsa, again, is a song that appeared in my top songs. Goose, Everything Must Go album. Again, Give It Time appears on that. From my favorite songs of the year. Yeah. And then Florence and the Machine, Everybody Scream, top album of the year. We'll be talking about that later. Sam Fender, People Watching. Wish we could have talked about that album, actually. I love that album as well. The title track, People Watching, terrific. And then one that I think we both have is Wednesday Bleeds.
Yeah.
And I like Townies and Elderberry Wine for that. Wednesday, by the way, pardon me if this belongs on side 2.
Probably does.
But they're going to be playing at Wrigley Field in July.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That is definitely a side 2. All right, I have.
You wanted side 2 to be shorter. So if I can get all this.
I did want it. I didn't think we just shove it all over here.
Okay.
Wow, he's dumb. All right.
Or is he more brilliant?
Let's go with dumb and move on. So my albums, I think far and away, the top 3 here are definitely like, by far and away my top 3 albums of the year. Horse Girl, Phonics On and On, I think is just fabulous. I also have Wednesday, the Bleeds album. The Beths.
Yeah.
Straight
Line is a Lie. That's a great album. Metal, really good song from that album.
Yeah.
And I will say, not all like my albums in particular, but also Wednesday, the Beths would have, maybe been in my top 10 for sure. Like all these are great albums. Like I like everything we've talked about as an entire album. Like
so, I was trying not to like reach into songs that. I was trying to separate albums and songs.
Sure, I get it.
So we get more stuff coming out instead of the same 5 songs, same 5 albums.
Okay.
And then Lifeguard, Ripped and Torn, I think is phenomenal. I think it's been ranked on many lists this year.
Yeah.
It should be something you run out to see. I do think it's fascinating because... another kind of find I have is Sharp Pins.
Yes.
Which is Kaya Slater, and we'll get to that. But
on side 2?
No, we'll get to that in finds.
Oh.
But Kaya Slater is in Lifeguard.
Oh, all right.
And then he's in Lifeguard also has Asher Case and Isaac Lowenstein, who were all of them together were in like Horse Girl.
So you like the same? Okay, so is this the opposite of a cover band? If you take the same band and give it a different name, is it still the same band?
So Horse Girl is still going around. It's 3 different people. Penelope Lowenstein, whose brother Isaac Lowenstein from Lifeguard. She is in Horse Girl currently. And Kai Slater was in Lifeguard or is in Lifeguard, but is now kind of, I guess, his solo project is Sharp Pins, or he's in that. So it's kind of I don't even know how all that works together, but it's kind of cool how, and it's all Chicago people.
Oh, I didn't know that actually.
Horse Girl's a Chicago-based.
I did know that.
Yeah.
I did know Horse Girl.
And Kai Slater's Chicago-based, so it's kind of cool.
I guess it extends.
Yes. Yeah. So that was complicated, but the album is Lifeguard, is Ripped and Torn by Lifeguard, and then my final album is Mortal Prime Time by Sunflower Bean, which I think is was one of my finds of the year. I think they're a great little trio.
Yeah, sounded really good. I liked sort of they're really interesting actually, sort of a twee pop-ish thing, but not just acoustic guitar, like a full band sort of twee sound, except occasionally they let the guy sing and then it turns into a completely different band. It turns into like a metal band. So I like actually the song Waiting for the Rain off that album because it has all this twee pop, and then this is a little bit of a different song. Then it has like a ripping guitar solo in it. But not to take anything away from the entirety of the album.
No, I think Sunflower Bean I think is a band that a lot of our classic music fans would kind of find some stuff. All of them really are.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so let's do finds.
Okay. So new things.
New things.
New things.
So this is kind of the new to us. So now
new to us. So
people go, I heard that years ago. Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So mine biggest find was Bruce Hornsby and Why Music Deep Sea Vent. Just love that album. I did throw out the Platypus song to you, which I think scared you off, but I thought it was super fun and you would like it. So I'm just going to throw out another song, The Wild Wailing Life, to sort of dip your toe into them.
Wailing seems very apropos.
Wailing like a whale, like it's about being like Captain Ahab type of situation. It's not at all like that. It's such a misrepresentation. The singing is very pleasant on it. So don't listen. You're completely misrepresenting it.
It's horrible. It's the worst thing I've heard this year.
Go on. Sparkle Horse, It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
The title track from that is great. Again, new to me. It's a 2001 album.
I don't know how we missed that.
Yeah. Also new to me, Purple Mountains, 2019 album. That's Just the Way I Feel is a great song off that album, but the whole album's fantastic.
Agreed.
And then Pierce the Veil doing a cover of Bruno Mars, Just the Way You Are, Pop Goes Punk. I discovered that because we played it at my daughter's wedding, and I had to learn it, and I don't know that I'd ever heard it before. And I just thought it was a great rendition of a Bruno Mars song. So I had a lot of fun with it.
I don't see that as being a great version of that song, So I went back and looked at that when you threw this out here. I looked at that Pop Goes Punk album. This 2011.
Yes, 2011 it is. And I think there's actually multiple versions of it. I think Pop Goes Punk has a variety of albums. It's a series.
Right. This is like the fourth album or something.
Probably, right.
So kind of, I think gives you a better, going deeper into that album, there's a cover of an Adele song, Rolling in the Deep, yeah. Yeah, by Go Radio.
All right.
And I listened to it, same thing, like I thought the Pierce the Veil, it was cute.
Yeah.
It wasn't, You could see why Bruno Mars is a billionaire and Pierce the Veil isn't, or you could see why Adele sold 1 million records and Go Radio isn't. It just isn't the same caliber. And as I was listening to the Adele song by Go Radio, I was did some Google searches, and Linkin Park, when Chester was still alive, did a cover of that as well, and it was simply a cover of them sitting in chairs at some sort of event. Mm-hmm. So they weren't on stage, they weren't doing it. And he kind of, with a little bit of help from the band, sang that song. Mm-hmm. And just, you could see the power of Adele's voice, and you could see just how phenomenal of a singer Chester was with Linkin Park, and then how Go Radio just didn't have the chops to hold up to it. Same thing with Pierce the Veil. I don't think they have the chops to hold up to Bruno
Interesting.
Mars. But
I mean, the Chester Bennington sounds worth digging into. I'm sure it's a wonderful performance.
It's literally him sitting in a chair reading the lyrics off of a sheet he has laying on the ground.
Yeah,
and he just kills it.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, I stand by my Pierce the Veil. I had a great time with it. It's a fun version of the song. It's energetic, and it changes the song. It's a nice cover. Either way. The Alash Singers, which we talked, two of these we talked about last week already. The Alash Singers with Bela Fleck, throat singers, Russian throat singers. I've never seen them live in person or anybody like that in person. I am telling you, if you were there, you would be right with me with this. I guarantee it. It was wonderful.
Aren't they on couple of the songs on Florence and the Machine too?
No, not to my knowledge. No. If they are, I missed it. No, those are like the Aaliyah something singers. It's the string quartet, and the string quartet also sings. She has a string quartet. It is not the Alash Singers for sure. They sound completely different. Okay. But if you want to hear the Alash Singers with Bela Fleck, they appear on several songs on their Christmas CD or album, whatever you want to call it. Jingle Bells is a good enough place to start as any. And then the Local H, I just have to throw them in. It's my sixth one. Yeah. They were so much fun. We talked about them last week also, and I'd never heard of them before. Also a Chicago band. Yep. And they came pretty close to stealing the show when they opened for Everclear.
I think they did. Okay, so I do mine. Sharp Pins, already covered them a little bit.
Yep.
I think Balloon is the album that's Kai Slater. I think would have made my best album chart of it. I found it a little sooner. It was only in the last couple of weeks I found that, and I think it's great. Very, like, 1965 is still alive.
Yeah, it's definitely a psychedelic sounding album.
Yeah, it's
with a little bit of the Byrds maybe mixed in. There's like a bird psychedelic sound to me.
The Byrds definitely, and maybe the Monkees.
Go on.
Car Seat Headrest, I don't know if I found them in 2004 or 2005, but I'll take any opportunity to plug Car Seat Headrest.
Yeah.
I think they're fantastic. Also found Goose, who you covered a couple of times.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the other band I found, which was Geese.
Geese is also very popular. So far I like Goose better than Geese, but I'd probably have to listen to a little more Geese.
Yeah, I think I'd flip it the other way around. I like Geese a little more than Goose. Getting Killed is Geese's 2025, I think, September album. Very good. And then Sunflower Bean, which we've already covered, so I won't go into that. So those are our kind of best of 2025 kind of things.
And I will say, because you had mentioned about certain albums or songs being on the on list, Wednesday Bleeds made some lists. Florence and the Machine made some best of lists. Just when I was like, kind of like, oh, what are these other? Horse Girl I had seen appeared on some list. Beth has appeared on lists. Sharp Pins, believe it or not, appeared on lists. I mean, I don't believe it, but and Car Seat Headrest. Scholars appeared on. We're talking about like top 25 of the years.
I think Car Seat Headrest has had better albums than Scholars, but I don't. I'll listen to Scholars. Yeah. I think it has some good songs.
So some of these albums that we're talking about have been confirmed by, Rolling Stone or whoever.
All right, that's enough of us getting to the show. So
all right.
Why don't we begin the show and drop the needle on side?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rock. In the red corner, an album that needs no introduction. Hailing from Los Angeles via Chicago, Illinois. This unranked challenger features razor wit, gallows humor, and the howl heard around the world. The album climbed up platinum status and charted at 38 in the UK and 8 in the US. Recorded in 1978 by Hall of Fame wordsmith Warren Zevon. This is Excitable Boy. And in the blue corner, two fat guys. This is Two Fat Guys and an album.
Side one, Excitable Boy. I'm a little nervous here.
Okay.
I have to say, because I love Warren Zevon, and I'm curious. We've really never, I think, talked about other than we covered the kind of Werewolves of London as a novelty song on
our Halloween episode,
Halloween 45,
which is really good, by the way.
I don't think you and I ever personally kind of delved into Warren Zevon, and I have him kind of up on a pedestal, so I'm not sure.
Well, I have gone on record as saying he belongs in the Hall of Fame, and I'm glad that he's finally in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Let's get into it a little bit here, if you want. I mean, I think he's got a Hall of Fame career. I think he's a very interesting guy. I think he's got a bunch of decent songs. I'm not sure I have him on the pedestal that you have him on, but having said that, he's a Hall of Famer.
He is. So yeah.
So it's just really a question of, do I like him as much as you like him, is what you're asking.
Well, I'm afraid I have gleefully gone into shows before with music I've really liked just to have you tear it apart.
Okay.
Where I am nothing but respectful to your tastes.
Right, that's why. So, okay, since you brought it up, so for people listening and not on the video side of this, I'm wearing my sister Hazel shirt today because one of my favorite bands, and I granted they're not the most innovative band or anything like that, but
one-hit wonder, I believe, is your
right
term.
And so that's why I wore this shirt, actually, because I thought we were both going to represent our favorite one-hit wonder bands.
Oof.
So since you asked,
So this song,
I was saving this, but but okay. So we're talking about Werewolves of London. Apparently we're skipping over all the.
No, you could
find it. Well, let's just jump right in. We're in the middle of it now,
right.
but we can backtrack a little on our usual discussion. Werewolves of London, the biggest hit off the song, Warren Zevon's biggest hit, the one that was covered in our Halloween show. US 21, UK 87, the only top 40 of Zevon's career.
Yeah,
His
I believe that.
only top 40. So when you lambasted Sister Hazel, you called them a one-hit wonder.
I think I just did.
And, well, right. So then, is Zevon a one-hit wonder?
Oh, no.
Of course he is, by your definition.
I never gave you a definition.
Exactly. Boy, if you want to see some tap dancing, find that Sister Hazel show. I have never seen you, like, I could add a Tommy gun shooting at your feet and you would not have tap danced faster.
A Tommy gun, like from the awesome Roland the Headless
Yes,
Thompson
from
gunner?
Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. Exactly. All right, so now that I got that out of my system.
Yeah. I, by the way, for those just listening, I am wearing my Liho Fuchs.
Yes, it's
t-shirt.
a great shirt.
It is.
Tell the story. The whole story of the thing's fascinating.
I ordered it online.
No, you went there.
I did. So I was in London a couple of years ago. Well, where I got the shirt. I was in London a couple of years ago, and I had I needed dinner, and I had a kind of a day to kill, so I walked over to Soho,
Right.
to find Liho Fuchs.
Was it raining?
No, it was bright and sunny. It was actually a beautiful day in London.
The only one you made it that one time?
Yeah, it was great. I've been to London a few times, and
Yeah.
it's never rained on me in London.
Wow.
Yeah.
They might
So-
want to pay you to
Move there.
relocate.
And I'm willing.
Okay.
I'm totally willing. But walked over to Liho Fuchs. There's actually a picture of Warren Zevon in the window, but it is a Chinese restaurant, but
Right.
it's no longer Liho Fuchs. Liho
No.
Fuchs is closed.
How unfortunate.
And apparently, they're very keen on pointing out that they
don't have beef chow mein.
They don't have beef
I was
chow
gonna
mein.
ask you if you had a big
and
plate
even
of
when
beef chow
Liho
mein.
Fuchs was there, Liho Fuchs did not have beef chow mein either.
Right.
So,
A little poetic license by Warren Zevon.
well, there's actually a lot of poetic license in that song.
Right.
Yeah. So, we'll get there, I guess. Do you want to do the album, or do you want to talk about
Well,
Warren?
we
a
should
little
talk about
bit?
Warren. He's a fascinating
He
guy.
is. He is.
I mean, really a fascinating
He's
person.
I like to think of him as like the dark Randy Newman.
Well, Randy Newman's pretty dark too.
Yeah, but
I
this
don't
is
need
darker.
I don't know about. I would put them in a darkness battle. I think that could be our next 45. Is who's darker, Warren Zevon or
Yeah,
Randy
okay.
Newman? Because
So-
he works pretty dark too.
So this is so he clearly kind of, at least at this time, fell into the kind of the singer-songwriter kind of category.
Well, sure.
He was produced by this album was produced by Jackson Browne.
Yes.
Also clearly in the singer-songwriter
Of course.
category. But he was he did a lot of like studio work.
Right. So Warren Zevon, who we unfortunately lost way back in 2003 to cancer, in the Hall of Fame in the music influence category, sort of a career honor, not a performer-specific honor. Worked for the LA Mob when he was 13, and he's from Chicago.
Well, his dad was
his dad,
bookie.
right, and so he was helping his father out, and grew up in Chicago actually, and then moved out to LA. Hung out with classical composer Igor Stravinsky. I'm not sure if you found that. I find that amazing actually, that there's a connection for.
I think visited. Hung out is probably a little strong of a term.
I think visited more than once. He studied classical music with Robert Kraft, who was Stravinsky's whatever, but they were linked together, like Stravinsky and Kraft. I think Kraft maybe was a student of Stravinsky, actually. Yeah. So anyways, he's got those kind of chops, musically. Those are some big names to hang out with.
Sure.
And then, as you said, he was a session keyboard player for Jackson Browne and the Turtles. He worked as a band leader and arranger, along with Lindsey Buckingham, by the way, of that band, Fleetwood Mac. For the Everly Brothers. And Phil Everly's the one that encouraged him to write Werewolves of London, just as a, hey, you should write a popular song that will make you a bunch of money, sort of like Monster Mash, like you should have a dance craze. And so that was that whole connection. But he was, a session musician for the longest time.
But a lot of the song to not downplay that, but like a lot of like the Fleetwood Mac guys, a lot of them were session musicians.
No, there's nothing to downplay. Yeah, right. No, that's how they knew each other. They were all working musicians before they became major stars.
So like a lot of the musicians that played on this album also played on Carole King's Tapestry.
Right.
I found that fascinating.
Yes. And then, and Linda Ronstadt is in this mix also because he did some songwriting for Linda Ronstadt.
She does backup vocals.
She's doing backup vocals on this. The Eagles were actually Linda Ronstadt's backing band at one time. So this is sort of Laurel Canyon I would consider this sort of post Laurel Canyon, but it's definitely in that lineage. And you had mentioned it in the intro how Zevon himself was like very subversive. Like he took this Laurel Canyon influence and turned it dark and sarcastic and all that. But it's definitely there, and I believe that that's his response in some ways to the Laurel Canyon scene. But at any rate, all those. All that stuff is the soup that kind of made Warren Zevon.
Sure.
So, yeah, and I think I'd mentioned, but wrote Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me and a few other songs for Linda Ronstadt's first album. And all this is important because they were champions of his Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, to sort of get out there and help him make his albums.
And he did make an album that really didn't do much in like '77. So this is his third.
This is his third album.
So there was one sort of disappeared, went into session musician, then came back and did an album in '77 that wasn't overly well received, and then did this one that had his breakout song on it.
Right, and this album itself is probably his breakout commercial breakthrough, and it's his best-selling record as well.
Yeah, but I think '77 album, which is I believe just titled Warren Zevon, is Frank and Jesse James. The song is worth kind of listening to. The only other thing I would say about him as a songwriter, and yes, he did some work for Linda Ronstadt. He also wrote "Outside Chance" by the Turtles,
right? Which
is really a cool song.
Yes.
So if you haven't heard that, go back and listen to "Outside Chance" by the Turtles. All right, you want to do the album?
Sure. So we're going to, just this kind of the summary of the album, I guess, is like if you just look at the big picture of it, every track is sort of a short story about violence or history,
except the first one,
or emotional wreckage, wrapped in catchy rock and roll. So it's there are all these sort of like if you don't listen to the lyrics, you're just like tapping your toe along, you're just bopping along with this song.
I think that's the fun of a lot of these songs, like Excitable Boy itself, is that it's a toe tapper until you actually go, what the
heck? It's entirely true, and I think it's part of his style. I don't think it's by accident. I think he intentionally pairs these dark lyrics with upbeat music. It's part of his, again, sort of dark, sarcastic style, I think.
Yeah, well, let's run through.
Yeah,
there aren't that many songs.
Well, oh my God, 31 minutes and 29 seconds. I was listening the first time I was listening to it, and it was over. I'm like, wait, what? I love this album. Like when you're trying to research a show in 1 week, 3129 is excellent. I like it. So Johnny strikes up the band, as you alluded to. It's just kind of an opener song. I don't think there's that much to it, but it kind of sets the tone for the record. Well, so I like it as an overture.
All right. Well, Johnny Strikes Up the Band is really, my take is it's a allusion or referring to Johnny Carson.
Oh, all right.
So, Johnny Carson striking up the band on the Tonight Show, right? The Tonight Show.
Of course.
So it is. And
with Doc Severinsen.
Right. And so it's kind of, right, Doc Severinsen, yeah. So it's this, and there's been other Johnny Carson, I think Weird Al had one, and the Beach Boys had a song to Johnny Carson.
All right.
But this is Warren Zevon's song to Johnny Carson.
Interesting.
It's kind of the it's really a celebratory song. It's sun drenched and fun, and then the whole album gets weird.
And then it gets super weird on song number 2, Roland the Headless Thompson Gunner. And again, Thompson Gunner is a Tommy gun,
right,
just to be
Tommy gun, yeah.
clear. This was the last song he performed live. He performed this on David Letterman in October of 2022.
So you know the background?
Oh, I'm sorry, not 2022. It would have been 2002.
Yeah.
And then he passed away about a year later. He met a mercenary. He met
at a bar he was drinking at in Spain.
Yes.
He had moved to Spain in 1975.
Yeah. And so this guy's telling him war stories,
right,
I guess.
So mercenary. And so they wrote this song together.
Right.
Him and this mercenary
guy. David Lindell.
Yeah, a fictional story about a mercenary fighting in the Congo War.
Who was assassinated by a CIA agent himself.
Right.
Gets his head blown off.
Right.
And continues on as a ghost.
Comes back as a ghost.
A vengeful ghost.
And is internally fighting. So, like he mentions Ireland and even today.
Lebanon, Palestine.
Today, 1978 today.
Yeah.
Coming back, and so he mentions like Ireland and Palestine. Places where there was
upheaval,
yes. Which is weird because like Palestine and Lebanon are still kind of upheaval.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a while.
And then throws out a mention of Patty Hearst.
That one really took oh my goodness. Like if he could, like if it's one left turn after another,
right.
It's just a series of left turns, like unexpected things right up to the very end. So it's an interesting song. I like the song. It's fine.
Oh, it's a phenomenal song, and if you know the backstory, it really sets the stage for the rest of the album. So again, it's a mercenary fighting in a war, gets killed, keeps on fighting as a ghost. It's great. It's a great story that lives on. Listen to it.
Yeah.
All right. Followed by Excitable Boy.
Excitable Boy, also a single off this album, which surprised didn't chart from what I could tell, but it's one of his more popular songs for sure. Favorite of mine. About a boy.
The protagonist, let's say, is a young man.
A troubled young man.
Troubled, has some issues.
Yeah. Who rapes and murders his girlfriend
eventually. So he's like a little boy that gets into trouble. And his parents are sort of he's just
exactly.
He's just an excitable boy.
Exactly.
But the behavior gets worse and worse and worse.
Yes.
Until I think the last stanza, yes, he murders and rapes, goes to some sort of institution.
Yes.
Gets out.
Because he's just an excitable boy,
He's just an excitable boy, not a murderer.
Yeah.
Gets out, digs up the grave of the girl he killed and builds a cage with her bones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's just an excitable
Spoiler
boy.
alert.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a crazy song. And if you've ever just sort of listened to the song and tapped your toe along with it, maybe check out the lyrics.
It's got it's got like a fun, upbeat, like
that's what
saxophone.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's got a great,
Yeah.
Totally.
There is a wonderful cover of this. I don't know if you've
All right,
cover.
go ahead. Well, I didn't look into
Adam
it.
Sandler.
Oh, really?
Cover. Yeah.
And does he do it pretty straight?
Yeah, it's pretty straight. It could have been. I don't know if he did it as like a tribute
Okay.
There is a tribute album. I don't know if that's on that.
All right. I'll check it out. Yeah. Honestly, comedians doing song interpretations are often very good.
Yeah.
So I'm not against that.
So there's a future for me in music?
Comedians, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Werewolves of London, next song. Also a favorite. We've already talked about that quite a bit. But he was never a fan of this song himself,
no.
And he didn't want to put it out there. And actually, the first people to perform it were Jackson Browne and T-Bone Burnett, who did it live, and sort of had to convince him to record it. Zevon said, "I don't know why it became such a hit. I didn't think it was suitable to be played on the radio, but it didn't become an albatross. It's better that I bring something to mind than nothing. There are times when I prefer that it was bridge over troubled water."
Yeah. But there's a lot of... So we talked a little bit about Leo Fuchs not having beef chow mein.
Right.
He also mentions in it, like Lon Chaney and Lon Chaney Jr., who were not in the movie Werewolves of London.
Right.
So there's a lot of...
Which was originally like a 1936 movie. It was
an
an older movie, and then there was a remake of it.
A lot of artistic license in this song.
And then it popped up in 1986 in The Color of Money with Tom Cruise famously lip syncing it during a pool match.
And I will once again mention the unholy abomination that made it popular again here recently with Kid Rock's All Summer Long.
Yes.
Which this song got merged with Leonard Skinner's Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, I have to admit it's 100% guilty pleasure. Oh. I have to turn it up when it comes on.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I heard a reviewer describe it as the musical equivalent of a warm can of Keystone Light, which I heard, I have written, and I've now said again out loud, and it still makes me chuckle.
It's still pretty good.
Yeah. It's kind of a shame that it's really treated as a novelty song, because I think it's a much better song than that. But I get where it gets played at Halloween, and I think I probably heard it on Dr. Demento or something.
Okay, it's way better than a novelty song. I don't even honestly think of it as a novelty song myself.
All right, and then I believe wrapping up side one is Accidentally Like a Martyr.
Yeah, it takes a complete turn, and this is a little bit of a breath, a little bit of calm down a little bit. It's a really beautiful pretty song about a breakup. It
was written for his long-suffering wife, Crystal,
okay,
who did leave him, I think a couple of years later. He was a severe alcoholic,
okay,
and had like blackouts and fits of rage during these times, and so this song is sort of his regretful hangover.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, it's he's vulnerable and romantic and not snarky really at all in this song. It's a real break from the previous songs, and really from the majority of his music, and this is definitely more introspective and
so I struggle with the title, Accidentally Like a Martyr. Can you be a martyr anyway but accidentally?
I was gonna ask you that.
Purposely become a martyr?
I was gonna ask you that because I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Is what does the title really come down to? But
I think accidentally is the only way you can be a martyr.
Yeah,
you can't go into it trying to be a martyr, or
you're not really a martyr. You're just
becomes pretty hollow.
Right.
Flopping over the side two, turning the album over, we get Nighttime in the Switching Yard.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is
it's pretty a disco song.
A disco song, maybe an attempt by the record company to get him some plays and show up in the dance rooms.
They did release this as a single.
Yes, it was released in a single, and and again, this is 1978, so the disco was happening then, and I think it was just I don't know how he feels about the song. To me, it's kind of a throwaway. It's fun.
It's it's like any other rock band doing disco.
Yeah.
I think Yes even tried to do a disco song,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, but it's not a memorable song to me.
Yeah.
Veracruz, a historical song about the 1914 occupation of Veracruz, Mexico. And it could have been written today almost, it seems like.
Yeah. Where's your Calderon when you need him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a bit. It doesn't hold my interest, to be honest.
No, it lacks kind of the bite of a Warren Zevon song.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic. Listen to it once, be done with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of being done with it,
Tenderness on the Block, number 8,
is totally Jackson Browne.
Co-written by, well,
yes, I know it's co-written by him, but
you're giving him full credit.
It just sounds completely like a Jackson Browne song, not a Warren Zevon song.
I love Jackson Browne, by the way.
But this is not. It doesn't belong here. It's too soft rock.
You could say the same thing about Accidentally Like a Martyr. I mean, it's definitely, again, another chance to catch your breath between all the other sort of dense lyrics and everything that's going on. So it is, again, a nice, warm song about parents struggling with their daughter coming of age and advising parents to, let their daughter go out and explore life and live their life. And I think it's charming.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is true or not, but what I heard was Crystal called Jackson Browne during one of Warren Zevon's drunken episodes.
Yeah.
And Jackson Browne came over, and by that time Warren had kind of settled down.
Okay.
So they sat down and started drinking more and wrote this song.
All right.
So
nice.
I don't know if that's true or not, but it should be.
It should be, yeah. So I actually think it's a nice song. I don't throw that song away. And then song number 9, Lawyers, Guns, and Money. What a great turn of phrase.
Yeah. It's my favorite Warren Zevon song.
Yeah, it's just terrific. And I guess it did chart in the top 100 as a US 89. And he composed a song based on, I guess, a real-life incident, which I looked I tried very hard to find out what this actual incident was. But he was in Kauai in Hawaii, and I could not find out what actually happened. But apparently, much like the character, he got into trouble, had to call his father and say, send lawyers, guns, and money.
No, he was drinking in a bar.
Yeah.
And like the waitress was talking to him and said they have a place they could go to.
Oh.
That a friend of hers owned. And so they start driving up there.
Uh-huh.
And it was really far, like 90 minutes or something away.
Okay.
And at some point this waitress said, my friend wouldn't mind if we broke into it.
Oh my goodness.
And so, realizing he was probably in the wrong place, he said, I got to have somebody, I've got to call my producer or something to send lawyers, guns, and money.
Right.
So that's kind of where it came from. But it's, I think the song itself is like a failed son anthem.
Okay.
The clueless rich kid.
Yes.
Who did go somewhere gambling in Havana.
In Havana,
yes. And
got involved with a Russian waitress.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So he obviously took, again, poetic license with his personal experience,
No,
but that
great.
was the inspiration. I don't know how you found that story.
Yeah, so he came back and he wrote. They got back to the bar and he wrote it on 2 cocktail napkins.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's the story I've heard. Don't know if it's true or not. I again hope it is true.
Yeah. But when you are in trouble, just call whoever you can and tell them to send lawyers, guns, and money, and that should get you out of whatever problem you're in.
So there was a book written, I don't know, early part of the last century maybe, or mid part of the last century.
Uh-huh.
And the point of it was a successful society has guns, germs, and steel.
Okay.
And so that's the basis of this book. And that's a successful society or successful country.
All right.
Can has guns, can control their germs.
Okay.
And
Manufacturing.
steel.
Yeah.
Has technology or steel. And so I think this is the modern take on this is the individual take on it.
Yes.
So you don't need guns, germs, and steel. You need lawyers, guns, and money.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. There's better references to that out there, but I think that's it. So I love Warren Zevon, and I love this album.
Yeah.
Now we kind of talk about, is this a landmark album or a perfect album?
Well, I don't have it as a perfect album. We've already talked about a couple. Even you have a skip or two on here.
Yeah.
For me, it's a 3 favorite album. I like Excitable Boy. I like Werewolves of London, and Lawyers, Guns, and Money. I mean, those are favorites. I like Roland. I like Accidentally Like a Martyr. I like Tenderness on the Block. Johnny Strikes Up the Band is Harmless. I'm sort of skipping. Actually, Vera Cruz is probably my only full-on skip. Roland, I don't know if I could listen to it over and over and over
Oh,
again.
it's great. It's on my list.
Yeah. So no, I don't have it as a perfect album.
All right.
Did you have it?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have it as a perfect album. I think it's, and there's many people, many like Warren Zevon people who will argue that this is his best album. They think there's better albums by
Okay.
him. I think with the 4 or 5 songs on here, you mentioned, I like Roland, Headless Thompson Gunner, Excitable Boy, Werewolves of London, Accidentally Like a Martyr, and Lawyers, Guns, and Money. I mean, that makes it, to me, his best album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very, very strong, I think.
I think it's totally a fun album. It's a good album. Not a perfect album, but and I doubt I could even put it in a landmark album.
Go ahead. I'll let you
It's
finish.
his own. It's kind of, it's definitely. I don't know what the Warren Zevon, Randy Newman's kind of side to the singer-songwriter category is, but
Right.
it's there.
Well, Randy Newman's a genius as well, like a full-on genius. I'd love to do one of his albums one of these days.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
I do have it as a landmark. I think on the grounds that he's a landmark artist, and as a landmark artist, he gets a landmark album. It's mostly how I approach these things. He's definitely an influential person. Mm-hmm. This is his commercial breakthrough and best-selling record. It has his only top 40 song on it. So, that's my logic behind it. I'm sure if you wanted to be stricter on the requirements of what a landmark album really is, I see what you're saying. But I think it's the best album by a Hall of Fame artist who's very influential and an important person in the music industry, and hence I'll give it landmark status.
All right. Well, let's leave it there, and we got a live read now.
Two Fat Guys in an Album is sponsored by Deeper Connections Counseling, helping people connect to themselves, the people they love, and the world around them through individual and couples therapy for Illinois residents, both in person and online. More information at dcctherapy.com.
Did you print this live read on a colored piece of paper?
It is it's on a bright green piece of paper because I could tell because you just throw it out there. You don't actually end the segment. You don't give me any time to think about it. I'm already talking about my landmarkness. My brain is on landmarkness. And then all of a sudden it's live read. And I know you try to say that as fast as possible to catch me by surprise. So yes, it is on a bright green piece of paper that I can find quickly.
Awesome.
Deeper Connections Counseling, dcctherapy.com.
Yeah, so I said this over and over, but I will say it again. You're worth it. Your relationships are worth it. The people in your life are worth it. If you're struggling with something, just need somebody to talk to. There's no shame in that. There's no stigma in reaching out and getting some help. If you're in Illinois, these are a wonderful group of people to talk to. We would absolutely trust them with anybody. If you're outside of Illinois, still find somebody to talk to. Get some help. No shame. You're worth it, dude. With that, we got a couple other announcements.
Hey, two fat guys and an album fans. This is Diane Blackburn, realtor with Baird & Warner and proud sponsor of this podcast. I pride myself in being committed to serve as a trusted real estate advisor for all my clients. Whether you're looking to sell, buy, rent, or lease, feel free to reach out and let's chat about how we can work together to make it happen. If you're watching, scan the QR code for my website or give me a call at 630-638-1999. See you on the flip side.
Are you someone who needs help with their Instagram or TikTok? Well, you're in luck. LR Media is here to help. Email me at laurarose2003@aol.com to get started. Let's make your social media shine.
Welcome to Side 2, where kind of our What's Going On segment. Things we're listening to, things we're talking about, things we're going to go see, things we saw. So why don't you start us off, since I have absolutely nothing this week.
Okay. Well, I have a couple things for Side 2. I really didn't have anything for Side 2 this week. I just have a couple things. Because, we want Side 2 to just kind of fly by. We're just right. So the thing that's happening right now that I'm in the middle of is the Beatles Anthology on Disney+. It's the documentary, the new documentary series. And I think it has 9 episodes. I'm only about halfway through. I'm up to the Budokan concert. So I think I've got 4 more episodes go. It's great. I mean, I just love it. And, I'm a 100% Beatles guy.
Yep.
I see your... you have the cash grab look on your face, but for someone for myself, who number one is a fan, and I do consume just about everything Beatles all the time. This is still new and fresh and different. There are lots of things on here that I have not seen before. There's a lot of footage that I have not seen before. And the documentary style is really interesting, and I'm sure it's been around for a long time, but I first noticed it with the Becoming Led Zeppelin documentary, is that there's no narrator, there's nobody there asking questions, there's nobody talking over things. They piece together the whole history of the band through things that were happening at the time, primarily contemporaneous interviews. So they tell the story.
So interviews with the band.
Interviews
so it's
with
not
the band.
tied to what's going on in the greater world.
I'm not sure what you mean. They're
Patty Hearst
like in
doesn't come up.
1963 or 4 or whatever,
right.
okay? Well, really 1963. 64 is when they came to the United States. But at
So
the
when they really start? When were the Beatles first called the Beatles?
Oh, boy, I don't have that, but probably around 1960, 61, I would say. They were performing. They were performing as the Beatles, I think in Hamburg, Germany, at the Cavern Club. I think they were the Beatles then. They didn't have Ringo Starr, though. Ringo was the last piece of the puzzle, and that was when they made their first album in 63. And in fact, he didn't perform on their very first song, which is...
Last Train to Clarksville?
I don't know. I can't pull it now.
I'm just going to keep making monkey
Please
references.
stop. You wouldn't go see, when I asked you if you wanted to go see Michael Naismith, I think, or Davy Jones or whoever,
Mickey Dolenz.
Mickey Dolenz,
The other two are dead.
Okay. Well, at the time, I don't know that they were dead. At any rate, aren't you even impressed that I know their names?
Well, who doesn't know the Monkees?
So I asked you if you wanted to go, and you said no, and you scoffed. So you pretend to put on this Monkees facade, but I know that you just do it to annoy me.
Not bringing up the mosquitoes.
So maybe I'm going to say it's I Want to Hold Your Hand. Now I'm the Beatle expert that can't think of what their first really popular song was. But whatever that song was, the very first one, before they came to America, the first one they recorded, Ringo Starr did not perform on it. They actually had a session drummer play on that song.
So just the song, but not like the Meet the Beatles album?
Just the one song.
Gotcha.
Just the one song. And to this day, when he tours, he always makes sure to perform that song live just to prove that he could have done it.
All right.
So there's one song, that's performed by a drummer that...
Pete Best?
Not even Pete Best.
Well, just a session guy.
Yeah,
Could have been
session
Mick
guy.
Fleetwood.
So they had already... It wasn't. But they had already... Yeah, they had all... It's turning... Oh, my God. So they had already booted Pete Best out for Ringo. Okay? But then when they went to do the recordings... I think George Martin even wanted a studio musician to do it, and the drummer situation wasn't entirely settled at the time, and Ringo had gone. He was actually at the session expecting to record, and they were like, "No, we've already hired a drummer for this," and so he doesn't appear on that song. Which I'll put that in the nuggets for next time. I'm sure everybody knows the name of the song, but me right now. But I'm drawing a complete blank. So anyways, Beatles Anthology, really, really great documentary, and I'm about in the middle of it. And then my other show and tell is I have the book this year, 365 Songs Annotated by John Darnielle, a book of days. And...
So John Darnielle is the mountain goat.
He's essentially the mountain goat, the head mountain goat. Although for the past, I don't know, maybe 20 years, he's really worked with a set of musicians. And even in the foreword to this book, he credits all the people he worked with and says, "You are all the mountain goats." But in reality, he's the songwriter, the lead inspiration for it. So this book... even though it looks very thick, and you asked me if I was going to read the whole book, which I'm curious about.
Well, it looked like difficult because it's a lot of like lyrics and little verses and stuff.
Yeah, so the way it works is it's a song a day, all right? And it's a book of days, 365 songs annotated. First of all, how many people have 365 songs that have been
Hold on, I'm putting on the calendar to ask you about this in July if you're doing a song a day.
That. I'm committed to it. I'm fully committed. And in each song, each day is really only about 2 pages long. It's really easy. So it's one song and then about another page of ruminations about the song. It could be anything. It could be how he wrote it or what he was thinking about at the time, or it's just a little vignette about the song and where he was in his life at the time when he wrote it. It's really interesting. So the other kind of fun, unexpected thing that happened is the first couple songs, it goes in chronological order. Mm-hmm. And for anybody who knows anything about the Mountain Goats, you know he started off very lo-fi. He was recording on cassette tapes, basically with a Panasonic boombox, essentially.
So I assume that's a boombox on the floor and him sitting in a chair with a guitar.
That's it. Yeah, and sometimes I think he had like a little Casio keyboard, like a real little Casio, like a silly, almost childish keyboard. But that's what he had at his disposal. And when you listen to these early songs, you can hear the tape whirling and everything. So they're very, very lo-fi, like one of the original lo-fi dudes, I think. But the songs go in chronological order. So the first song or second song isn't even on Apple Music. Like I tried punching it, I couldn't find it, so I had to go on YouTube, and somebody somehow had it on YouTube. Sure. But what happened was a lot of other people who are reading this book did the same thing. And so now I'm in a book club.
Oh boy.
With other people that are reading the book, and every day just going one song at a time, and it's really great. So again, if you're a fan of the Mountain Goats, this year
you can join the Fat Guy book club.
It's not the Fat Guy book club. It's not my book club. It's our book club. I'm not the leader of the book club, but you'll be pleased to know that Two Fat Guys in an Album is commenting in the book club, just a little.
Nice. Look
Just
at
a
that.
little.
Look at that. All
So,
right.
anyways, the book is this year, 365 songs annotated, a book of days by John Darnielle, and all you mountain goats. And actually, I don't know if you are looking for a way to dive into the mountain goats, it might be an interesting way to do it.
Or just listen to Tallahassee. Okay. Or Sunset Tree.
Sunset Tree would be the album that I would go to that we did. I think I'm not sure what the episode was, but was it Beaker that I did the show with?
Probably where the
So if you
camera failed.
So if we go on YouTube, it'll be me talking to Beaker.
Because my camera failed.
So you might want to just listen to the audio.
No, it's great. It's great. All right. Is that it?
I could go on, but I don't have to.
Yeah, why don't we... that was more mountain goats than we needed for this show.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard you say too much mountain goats.
Wasn't expecting it.
All right.
Let's leave that there because we're already running long, and flip this over one more time to side 3. So the Beyond Classic Rocks after this announcement.
Two Fat Guys and an Album is sponsored by MKE Video. From podcasts to training videos, we're the best in the Midwest. To learn more, email Elliot at mkevideo.com.
Side 3 is Beyond Classic Rocks. So today we're going to look at the 2025 album, I believe.
Yeah, pretty new album.
Yeah, Everybody Screams by Florence the Machine. So we've talked about Florence the Machine a few times. So we're gonna kind of take a look at this album. It's an interesting pairing with.
Well, I think
Excitable
we've
Boy.
talked about this before and maybe alluded to it at the beginning. The copycat pairings have annoyed me. I am completely annoyed by the copycat pairings where we pick average albums to pair up with excellent albums just because they sound sort of like the original.
So I wouldn't have. All right, fair. Yes, I get that those annoy you, which is all the more reason why I like them.
Exactly.
But I think this is Florence and the Machine really has like that Patti Smith power, and I think we could have done this with Horses, and really complemented both albums.
Yeah, I'm against that. So I picked this because it's a great album, and it's a new album. It obviously doesn't fit into our classic rock root box that you have. It wouldn't be a main album.
My box, it's a
and
radio genre.
It is a radio format, and so it's timely. It's current.
Mm-hmm.
It's happening right now. It's on actually the Telegraph's #1 album of the year. And as I mentioned earlier, it's appeared on
so
several.
it might have
really
even
great
paired
albums.
better with last week's episode.
Anything would have paired better with last week's episode.
Wow.
So yeah, you look, I like the idea of if something fits, if there's a natural fit, which
Yeah,
I think
fits.
we have for next week. By the way,
We do, and well, it's where I'm a little surprised because I think this. I mean, this is Patti Smith, right? This is.
I don't think it's I wouldn't call it that at all.
It's
But
her energy.
you could say that.
You know, I think it would have paired well with Horses.
I would not. It would have been fine with Horses.
Yeah,
But it wasn't what I was thinking of. I just thought, as I said earlier, you brought up 5 really great albums earlier that we'd never covered on the show, and I think we should just try to maybe cover some good albums for the third side, whether or not they copy the previous album or not. We can go back and forth. We all get to choose albums, and I've chose this because it's a great album.
No,
and I think it deserves attention.
it is, and so I think it ties better with last week's. And I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about it, but
Right.
because this is really, to me, I heard a lot of like goth rock in here. Right?
Well, she definitely has. I think a goth. I think the gothicness is she has this. I don't know if she's dark. She's definitely witchy. I mean, I think you could definitely find a witch connection pretty easily, but I don't know if it's the goth dark witch as much as the lover of nature witch. It's the good witch of the West or whatever it is, and And so I think she has a lot of energy, a lot of life energy, and you know, in the sense that, would you call who's again, Fleetwood Mac is going to come up a bunch. Stevie Nicks,
sure.
Probably would be a comparison that I have, who has that sort of, and I don't know that Stevie Nicks would ever be called goth, but it has that. It definitely has. She has like a supernatural sense to her.
She definitely did.
Yeah. So that's, but this album, it, you know, the first time I heard it, I heard the song "Everybody Scream." That's the big hit on the radio, and I thought, wow, this is just a banger of a song. She's got an amazing voice, and then, you know, you just start listening, and it turns out the second song is great, and the third song is great. And
so the second song, one of the greats.
Yeah.
You know, to me, you know, I don't want to go blow by blow through these songs, but to me, that one really kind of, I think, is a fantastic example of her lyrics, her ability to write a great lyric.
Yeah, and if I can just say, in that regard, I think it does pair in with Warren Zevon a bit. She has a little bite to her.
She does.
She has
so this is kind of a critique of the music industry?
Very dense lyrics.
Yeah.
Like, you can get into her lyrics just as much as you can get into her music. So yeah, big time critique of the music industry. Which lyric did you like the best? Mine was, "You're my second favorite frontman."
Yeah. Well, I think right before that, when so it must be nice to be a man and make boring music just because you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I said kind of poetry, but
yeah, no, it is. That's the lyric, and she is a poet, by the way. So I mean, the lyrics are poetic. But she'd ski.
You can have me if you weren't so afraid of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's very. But she also has this reflectiveness to her. She's got some anger. She has some angst. But she's also has like this self-awareness, because there's a lyric later that says where she's only beautiful under the lights, only powerful there. Where
Sure.
And it has to do with you know, we sort of skipped over the overriding themes of the album, but how because she's another person that struggled with addictions.
Mm-hmm.
And how her, you know, a big part of this album, to me, one of the major themes of the album is sort of how she feels in control on stage and feels in control when she's performing, but in her personal life, she lacks that control. And so finding that balance.
Well, I think we see that over and over in with a lot of these artists.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Warren Zevon was out of control in his personal life.
Exactly.
You know? So, yeah.
So do you know the real impetus of this album, like where the whole thing originated? She had a life-changing near-death experience on stage. She had an ectopic pregnancy in the middle of her performance where she was literally could have died, like was bleeding. She said she had a Coke can of blood in her abdomen. And so the Everybody Screams is, that song in particular, is sort of, again, her relationship with the audience. She's out there like trying to give her best for the audience, and the audience is screaming, and her ability to, again, have control over herself on stage, and then all of a sudden she doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of the impetus for the entire album. And then that, you know, put her into sort of the rebirth through ritual, the witchcraft type of ideas, the spirituality sort of ideas, that, you know, sort of the reevaluation of life. And I think when you have a life-changing experience in the hands of a great artist, you get great art.
Yeah. Yeah. So watching, I listened to the album a couple times, and I listened to it before I knew we were going to do it because it's a great album.
Oh, yeah.
And then, you know, re-listened to it. And then I went on YouTube and watched the visualizers.
Right. They're not videos anymore.
No, they're
visualizers.
Visualizers.
Right.
And the Machine doesn't get a whole lot of love in any of these.
No, she puts herself out there.
Well, the one is she's just riding in the back of a car.
Yeah. I did look up whether Florence and the Machine was actually Florence and hired guns.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you if the Machine, is there a steady group
the
of
Machine is a band.
So that would be I want to be in the Machine.
Who wouldn't? Yeah.
You probably make really good money. You get to travel around, and nobody knows who you are.
And nobody knows who you
can
are.
still go to a shopping mall.
Yeah. There's some original members still performing. The band formed in England in 2007. Isabella Summers, keyboards, backing vocals, original member.
When was it?
2007 was when the band was formed.
And she's been there since
day one. Robert Ackroyd, lead guitar, backing vocals, bass, original member. Tom Monger, the harpist. She has a harpist in her band, and a lot of that unique sound that you're hearing.
Not a harp, but a harp?
A harp, like a classical harp, comes from him. He's a really big, important part of the sound of the Machine.
Yeah.
He's an original member. And then
probably not hard to get other work as a harpist.
You'd be surprised. There aren't that many harpists out there, quite honestly. It's supply and demand. And then
looks like a really difficult instrument to play.
So it's one of the few instruments I have no idea how to play. But I do know that it has pedals, okay? And it has a lot of strings, and it has a bunch of pedals. And if you press down a pedal, all the strings will sound good. So then you can just like take your arms and go boom, 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 and it would sound nice.
I assumed it was just a horizontal piano.
I don't know enough to. It doesn't have as many strings as a piano. It's not a horizontal piano. Like the mechanics of it are different.
Well, you play with your fingers instead of pressing keys.
But there's more. There is a bit more to it than that. There's colored strings, and the colors tell you the names of the notes.
Like black and white.
Red and blue, typically.
Then it's very different. The black
and white keys. They're not all colored. Why do you have to be so stupid all the time? They're not all colored. Certain notes are colored, which help you identify the other notes.
You were talking about the Machine.
They have a harpist. And then the rest of the Machine has pretty much been with her since 2018. And as you said, you don't know the name of any of them. But the Machine, including Florence, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 members of the Machine. And then I don't know how much you looked into all the musicians that are on this album. It's like 2 pages long of musicians. Sure. The producer, though, and co-writers are Aaron Dessner. I don't know if you know that name, from The National. One of the founding members of he's a multi-instrumentalist on this album. And then Mark Bowen from the Idols were both a big part of this album, from musical production and doing some co-writing and performing on the album. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 favorites out of 12 songs.
Why don't you recommend to our ever-growing audience some songs?
Well, everybody screams the one that you probably heard on the radio. It's a great song, but don't, again, much like Warren Zevon, don't just take it at the music and even at the vocal performance, which is outstanding. But listen to the lyrics, and the story behind this album is part of what makes it great. I don't know. I like Sympathy Magic a lot. I like the Old Religion. I like Drink Deep. 8 and 9. Music by Men is another. Similar to One of the Greats is another song that sort of talks about the music industry. You Can Have It All, the 11th song on the album, is her kind of Adele moment where she just but like you could listen to this whole album and the first thing you're gonna think, if you've never heard Florence the Machine, you're like, oh my God, she can sing. Like that is not hidden at all.
No.
But when you get to You Can Have It All, it could have been an Adele song. I mean, she just belts.
But there's also, I know we got some metalheads that are listening to us now because we covered some metal.
Sure.
This is probably the most metal of the metal gothic rock.
Yeah.
And this song does I think what you were saying is it ascends.
It's a big song.
It just that it's constantly kind of moving up in
building and all that.
And
yeah.
By the end, it's you can hear the power of her voice,
Right.
as well as the full. The instrumentation is phenomenal, but her voice really launches. So
Yeah, it's
I would
song.
I would recommend both to our metalhead friends and really anybody. You Can Have It All, which is the 11th song on this album.
Yeah, it's a US 4 and it's a UK
Really?
1. It was a top one. Yeah, it's a number one song. And so here, Florence and the Machine, future Hall of Famers. They have 6 albums. In the UK, they've had 5 number ones. 5 out of 6 of their albums were number one in the UK. In the
6 albums in 20 years.
I guess. I don't know. Well, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Their first. Now you got me. Their first breakthrough album was How Big, How Blue in 2015. So they were together for a while before they exploded.
Yeah.
All right.
So do you consider 2015 their first album?
It was their. No. Well, no, I don't think so. But
So
this
they
was their number
existed
one.
almost 8 years without an album.
You're asking a lot of questions. U.S.
I'm
How Big, How
I'm
Blue.
only asking them of the maestro of music.
How Big, How Blue was U.S. Their number one album. It's their only number one in the United States. But they've had 5 other albums in the top 10 and all 6 albums in the top 15 in the United States. So my point being, regardless of how many albums they've made or when, is that their output has been pretty spectacular, and we can look forward to their induction day one.
He gets very
coming up.
smug when he knows the answer, and then very making excuses when he doesn't.
I just don't know the answer. I
It's all right.
don't know.
It's all right.
So great album.
Yeah.
And on my list, obviously, as we talked earlier, of the top albums of 2025.
Yeah, it was on yours, so I didn't think there was any reason to put it on mine. I thought there was plenty of other albums to talk about, but I do think this has been heavily in my playlist
Yeah.
before I even knew we were doing it or we started talking about them.
Yeah.
They were exciting. I'm a little, and I think I alluded to this a few times. I was a little surprised how big they actually are.
Yes.
They played. When I saw they were playing the United Center,
Yes.
I was taken aback.
Yeah, and I would go see them in a heartbeat, but I know I have a conflict that day. I would love to see them live. They're, if you get a chance even to check out some of their live performance videos on YouTube, she's spectacular live.
She is. A lot of energy, a lot of, not just the power of her voice, but her
presence on stage, her
she's
connection
theatrical.
to the
Yeah.
audience. She's
Agreed.
a wonderful musician and performer.
All right, so that was Everybody Screams by Florence and the Machine. It's a double thumbs up from us. How many fat guys you want to give?
Oh, I'm going big on Fat Guys here. I'd probably go 9 Fat Guys on this album and might even go up. The only reason it's not higher is, there's 12 songs. I don't have 12. It's not a perfect album still. I think it's a really great album. It's a really great album in its entirety. I recommend, although we called out a couple good songs, I recommend the entire album. And I think it's, when I get into the 9 range, the 8s, even the 8s, we're starting talking about music that is life altering, that gives you a different perspective that you didn't really have before.
Yeah.
And for me, this album does that. I learn things. I feel like it made me a better human. So
Well, we need more of that.
yeah. I'm going really high on this. I'm going to 9 Fat Guys.
I have it at 7 fat guys. I think there's some really good songs on here, and a little something for everybody, as we kind of talked about. I think there are songs that are great lyrically that don't do a whole lot for me musically, and then I think there's some bangers. So I'm not. I think it's one of the best albums, top 10 album of last year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
Yeah, I've got it at a 9.
Yeah, life.
Can I throw out one quick thing here?
Yep,
I
and then we
sent
gotta
it to
move
you, and I don't know if you listened to it because I know you only listen to the main album and not the bonus track version.
I don't.
But there's chamber version tracks, and you would even ask me about this before when we had talked about the medieval music and stuff, which is why I forwarded it to you in the first place, because I know you generally disparage bonus tracks, but in this case, they had the medieval sound, and so they have Everybody Screams, Sympathy Magic, The Old Religion, and Drink Deep, and that sort of medieval chamber music sound that's really fantastic. Sympathy Magic especially hits hard in this setting.
Since it's a new album, I will give it a pass
Yeah.
on the bonus albums. Bonus tracks, I will allow it.
Okay.
I think a lot of times it's a Neil Young money grab. That we'll put out a new edition with, another Beatles album with.
So let me ask you a question. How much did you pay when you listened to the original Florence and the Machine album, and how much more would you pay when you finally discovered there was a bonus track version? And oh my God, I have to run out and not buy the bonus track version
because I have a subscription, a music subscription,
as everybody does.
So that's
so the bonus
story.
tracks. So they're actually things that the musicians now put out. As an artistic
I
means
said I would give her a pass, all right? Let it go. Let it go.
All right. It's hard to let any of your silly ideas go.
I've been called silly. All right, so let's flip this over one more time to side 4. We don't have a sponsor. You want to sponsor us, reach out. There's information on our I was going to say our website. We haven't gotten that far yet.
No.
But there's
you can email us.
Two
Fat Guys album. You can DM us on the Facebook, I guess.
Oh, on the Facebook, yeah.
Yeah, you can use the Fat Guys YouTube email, and it's all in there. It's all in the body of the actually podcast notes and the YouTube notes.
Awesome.
So our email our contact information, our sponsors' contact information is there as well. And also, hopefully, I have a 2026 playlist up and running.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So side 4, we start off with the Maestro ranking the albums. So
yeah,
get to rank the album on our now exhausted list of 32.
Yeah, we're talking about Excitable Boy now by Warren Zevon. Great album by him. We've done only great albums. It's fair to say. Sgt. Pepper, number 1 by the Beatles. That's the one that tops my list.
Excitable Boy, number 2.
Moondance by Van Morrison, number 2.
So Excitable Boy, number 3, because you like those singer-songwriters.
I love singer-songwriters.
Yacht rock stuff.
Excitable Boy. When do we get to do the yacht rock?
45?
No. Well, we can do a 45 on yacht rock. I'd love to, because you have this misconception about yacht rock altogether. Excitable Boy, not yacht rock. Just Warren Zevon, not yacht rock.
Singer-songwriter.
That's not yacht rock.
No, I said singer. So
singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
It is. I actually have him down towards the bottom of our list of amazing albums. I have him at 31. I have him behind Synchronicity by the Police at 30, and ahead of Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden, which is 32 out of 32. So Excitable Boy, wonderful album. Can't crack the top 30 though of the ones that we've done already.
Oh, ouch. I won't speak for the show. I don't know where the show has this ranked. I know on my personal list, this is a top 100 album.
It's also a top 100 album for me currently.
Yeah, not quite the same. All right. Awesome. So I think we'll leave that there. And next week, we are doing The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars.
Yeah. Great album.
Yeah. 1972, I believe.
It's possible.
Yeah, by David Bowie. And we're going to pair that with a copycat band, Arctic Monkeys, doing Tranquility-Based Hotel and Casino.
Yeah, so not a copycat band at all, but I will say that this album is specifically makes me think of David Bowie. I don't think the Arctic Monkeys make me think of David Bowie, and I don't even know if they intentionally wanted to sound like David Bowie, but I think this album does pair really nicely.
So it's not like the Sheepdogs when they're changing colors and they're kind of mimicking the different
have
bands?
you written them to get that whole, because they may want to use your logic.
Well, the Sheepdogs are all over the place now.
That's what you say.
Yeah. They got a Christmas album with Bryan Adams.
Sounds like a side 2 problem.
Could be, but we're throwing side 2 anywhere we can in the show, apparently, now. All right? So, with that, we'd like to thank our production team and our director, Chauncey, from MKE Videos, our PR team from LR Media, all of our sponsors, Deeper Connection Counseling, you're worth it, talk to people, Diane Blackburn from Beard and Warner, MKE Video, LR Media, and with that, I am Fat Guy 1.
Fat Guy 2.
We'll see you next week. And then we can come up with rap names. I already worked on mine.
I really don't think we should do this. Sounds like a...
I would be the notorious FAT. You'd have to come up with one. Notorious FAT, get it?
I get it.
You could be like Ice Cube's brother, Fat Cube.
Could I be Fatty Smalls?
You could be Fatty Smalls. I just think, Fat Cube.
Fat Cube?
From Ice Cube.
Well, there's Biggie. Isn't there Biggie Smalls?
Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
Fatty Smalls?
Yeah.
Or Machine Gun Kelly's father. You could be Machine Gun Belly. No?
I think we need a production meeting on this.
T-Bone's father?
You ready for side 1?
T-Pain. Isn't it T-Pain?
T-Pain.
You could be Back Pain.
Back pain's good. I think that's very descriptive.